All right, hi guys. I think I should turn the light on for you guys. I don't like these lights, so they have like a yellow tinge to them. So anyway, I'm gonna just talk a little bit about how I achieve really glowing skin and how I keep my aging skin, because I'm aging, in decent shape. And when I say decent shape, I mean my skin isn't dry, it's not flaky, it's not, I don't have all these dry patches everywhere. When I'm done with it, it will be glowing. It will definitely be perky. And I wanted to share you guys how I achieve that. Now, I'd like to start by combing my hair out every morning. I don't wash my hair, so I mean, obviously this may not be the step for everyone, but I comb my hair out and I'm really combing my scalp, and I'm making sure that I hit my scalp from every way, meaning my whole scalp. And then I comb like down my neck too. So like I'm actually like getting my neck. So I'm combing down the back of my neck as well. And that just helps to stimulate the scalp and the back of the neck, which is always good to do. And then a lot of times I'll just take my fingers and I will just rub it across my scalp. Sometimes I will do a little fascia manipulation, but I won't make you guys have to go along with that. So I'm just going to pull my hair back. And just doing that little bit for your scalp, really just like, I love it. I love the way it feels. Just that little bit kind of gets things, you can literally feel it. And I absolutely love it. Okay. Now, because where I live, it's wintertime. This is very dry. And I try not to over exfoliate this time of year. Well, I try not to exfoliate any time of year, but especially in the wintertime because our skin is going to be really vulnerable because of the cold, dry air. So I do use a cloth every day though, and that helps keep the loose, dry stuff dislodging itself a little quicker than it normally would because I don't have time on my side anymore. So for me, things have slowed down quite a bit. So I'm just going to help it along a little bit, but I'm not going to do anything aggressive. And I don't rub hard. It's just a pretty light pressure. I would say light to moderate pressure. And I just do little motions all over my face. And basically what I'm doing is massaging my skin with the cloth. That's what I'm doing. I need to make sure to get my nose. And this is just going to take off of the loose stuff. And because I wear mineral powders, I don't wear them every day, but when I do wear them, I want them to go onto my skin beautifully. So it's important that I maintain smooth skin, okay? Now, I chose this method because my skin does great with it. I don't have to put chemicals on my skin more than I do with my natural stuff. So it reduces the amount of chemical exposure for me. It works, doesn't irritate my skin, and it leaves my skin exactly the way I love it. So yeah, these are the 100% cotton crocheted cloths. I absolutely love them. They have just the right amount of texture for some good exfoliating. I don't use this cloth every single day. I alternate. I have a bunch of different cloths. Some are more gentle than others. This one I would say is kind of in the middle. And I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the best skincare investments you can make. And these were not even that expensive. I got mine on eBay, but you can find them on Etsy too. They're definitely more expensive on Etsy, but it's nice to support people, you know. They're handmade. I love supporting people that are making stuff. So, but it's a great investment and I love how they work. Now, when you're using a cloth, you have to be really mindful because everybody's skin is different and you don't want to overdo it, all right? So if you're using a cloth and you notice any signs of, extra dryness, irritation, um, anything like that, you want to use a more gentle cloth or you have to use a much lighter hand, all right? So you really need to just kind of know your skin and how often you want to do it is going to be determined by your skin. Now, I use a cloth on my skin every day, but I'm gentle. The last thing you want to do is over exfoliate because it's just going to cause your skin to, go at it even harder because, you're going against what your skin naturally wants to do. So I am trying to stay in that gentle zone where I don't do too much. I don't want to trigger my body to go into defense mode. All right, so I just do a little bit. It's nice to actually do like a warm cloth on your face or a little bit of a warm steam to kind of soften everything up, but I don't do that very often. I just kind of go right in with a warm cloth, but keep in mind that when you pre-warm it, it's going to soften it up a little bit and make it a lot easier. But you don't want to go too hot because hot is not good for your skin, especially in the wintertime. So when I use a steamer, I keep it really far away. Steamers can be dangerous too. You got to keep them clean, make sure they don't build up bacteria. Oy. So they're a little bit of a pain, but I do love them. And like I said, I don't keep it close to my face, so it's not hot. It's not actually hot water that's hitting me. It's warm by the time it hits my face. I make sure that it's totally comfortable. And I'm going to do that for about 10-15 minutes. And as I'm doing it, I'm doing a facial massage and it softens everything up and it leaves my skin literally softer than you could ever even imagine. So that's amazing, but it's definitely more work, so I don't do it all that often. But this is what I like to do for a cloth. And again, I haven't been using much pressure. It's just enough to get my skin perky. And I do tend towards a ruddy complexion too. It's quite vascular. I definitely have some vascular stuff, so it gets pretty red, even if I were to use my hands. So I was pretty gentle, okay? And just the friction of your hands repeatedly is going to help remove some of that, but definitely the cloth helps to go the distance, especially when you have aging skin like me. So now I'm going in with my rose water. Oh, it's greasy because I had a lot of stuff on my hands last night. So got stuff all over it. This is just a rose water. What I do is I buy the bottles and then I usually just refill them with, I'll buy some food grade rose water and I will just refill them myself. But I love rose water. I love distilled aloe actually as well. Sometimes I'll mix that in there. I also love orange blossom water, which is neroli water. And now I'm going to go in with my face balm and I'm going to do a little bit of a face massage. And that is really going to perk my skin up. Okay, so I just made this yesterday and I overfilled it. So it's got it all over the rim. Let's scoop that up first. Oh boy. All right. So if I feel like I have way too much for my face, what do I do? I'm going to start here. Usually I start here and go down here. But I put a lot on, so try to do my neck and my chest. I don't spend nearly as much time with my neck and my twist, but I'm going to go back up to my face, and I am going to spend a bit of time just massaging, especially my eyes, going underneath gently. And I'm just trying to focus on increasing that circulation, just using my fingertips, and I'm pressing, I don't know, good moderate pressure. You see, pulling the red up on my forehead. Now, if you're someone who, you know, when you get red skin, it lasts for hours, you might want to save this for nighttime, okay? But I really like to get my circulation going in the morning. Especially get my nose because of the damage from the frostbite. I like to make sure I really massage my nose good to get that blood flowing. Because my nose has been continuing to heal, so I want to support it as much as I can. My cheeks and right around in my crow's feet. Again, just gently massaging. Now, massaging your skin is also going to be another layer of exfoliating, and the more you massage it, the more it's going to exfoliate. So if while you're massaging it, you feel little pieces, you can take a warm cloth and you can just kind of wipe it off or give your face a little rinse and then go back in with a little more of your face stuff, whatever you're using. I like a face balm because there's no water in it, so I don't have to use preservatives. Again, I like to do the most minimal that I can because I don't want to have a lot of chemical exposure. Even from plants, I want to minimize it as much as possible. So this has a little bit of actives, but not a ton. I try to keep that on the low side. Of course, too, you know, when you're working with plant extracts, you have to be aware of dermal limits and all of that, especially when they're essential oils and CO2s and things of that nature. So hands alone is going to exfoliate, okay? So this is also exfoliating some of my skin, but I am likely not going to wipe it off because I don't think I'm going to be wearing any mineral powder today, although I could be wrong. I'm probably just going to swipe with my hand when I'm done. You want to be careful too. You don't want to get your skin wet a lot in the wintertime because it will just cause it to dry out even more. My skin is never dry, probably because I hardly ever put water on my skin, and I keep it well lubricated. So, as you can see, my skin is quite perky and quite glowy. This was not specific for lymphatic drainage, so if you are interested in any of that, you could go through the lymph stuff, but this works just fine for me. Does what I want it to do. And I have been committed to using the zinc twice a day. On my nose. I don't necessarily wear sunscreen every day when it's wintertime and the UV is like a 1. I personally am not concerned about UVA on the amount of exposure that I get. I don't spend a ton of time outside this time of year. I do try to get out quite a bit. You know, I go for walks and, you know, get out there and try to do a little bit of stuff, but I'm not out there very much. So I personally am just not super concerned about that. Other times a year it's different, but all right. And you guys know I love the Badger. This is the Badger baby formula, the Roman chamomile and calendula. I love it. And I usually use this one. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to buy this big thing than this. Like, this is actually cheaper than this, and you get like 3 times the amount. I think it's like 3 times the amount. Yeah, over 3 times the amount. So this is just cheaper, and I do love this formula. They are slightly different formulas though. So it really just depends what you want, what you like. I like both of them. And then I use the Maximum Strength one at night. And again, it's the Boudreaux's butt paste. I've talked about this endlessly on my channel because I love it so much. So now my face is glowy, okay? Now if I were to put some mineral powder or something on my skin now, it's going to look really good, okay? And one more thing that I wanted to mention. So, you know, there's people out there all the time trying products and doing reviews on them, and they'll use a mineral powder for the first time, and, you know, they don't always understand that when you use a mineral powder, because it doesn't have emollients in it, there's no liquid portion to it. So there's no emollients, there's no oil, there's no synthetic oil, because it's basically synthetic oils. When they tell you if something is oil-free, they're basically synthetic oils, okay? So when you don't have that in a product to help it adhere, to give you, you know, the look, you're going to have to make it happen, right? That's where skin prep comes in. So people say, well, I don't want to prep my skin before a mineral powder. Then a mineral powder is probably not for you, because you're putting pure pigment onto your skin, or pure minerals, pure pigment. I don't want to say pure pigment because it's mixed with a bunch of minerals, but there's no emollients in there. There's no liquid, there's no emollients. So you have to make sure that you already have it on your face. So if you've done your skin in the morning and it's now like mid-afternoon and you go to put a powder on, you may not have anything for it to stick to. You may not have enough emollient left on your skin in order for that to actually work good with your skin. So you always want to make sure that you have a well-primed face. Now, I don't use primer per se, like something that's marketed for primer, but I do use my stuff before I go in with a mineral powder, and it gives the powder something to grip to on your skin, okay? And if you're using a formula that contains zinc oxide, the oils give the zinc oxide something to activate with, because it needs to be activated. So I'm not saying it doesn't work in its dry form, but if there's something to activate it, it's gonna work a whole lot better, okay? It likely works as a sunscreen when it's, you know, not activated, but if you want it for like healing benefit, you wanna activate it. Okay, so honestly, I think the more the better when it comes to lubrication. So I like a really well lubed face. I actually like it to feel, I want to feel something on my skin, okay? I don't want my skin to feel like there's nothing on it. I won't use a product that feels like that, because that tells me that it's not leaving any protection on my skin. Of course, as I get older, I want that protection. I love that protection. And after a couple of hours, this is going to fade. So I will not have this feeling anymore, but this is the feeling that I want. And if I'm going to put mineral powder on, I like a lot of it because it helps the powder to go on beautifully. And yeah, it gives it something to grip to. So I just wanted to mention that. So I think that's all I wanted to say for today. My skin is still glowing. And yeah, this is, you know, this is about increasing circulation to your skin. There's so many health benefits for your skin through face massage, so I highly recommend it. But I do want to encourage you to do your scalp and your neck as well, because it just adds to the mix. It feels so good. And remember, everything is connected, right? Everything is connected. You can even take a little time, add a little oil. You can even do a little neck and trapezius massage. You can do a little head massage. Again, takes a little more time, but it's really nice to do. You don't have to do it every day, but you could do it maybe a couple of times a week. But I think everyone should take at least 10 minutes in the morning to really do their skin and get a nice little face massage going, because it can be a game changer, especially if you are aging and you want to age naturally without using all of the man-made stuff. And again, you know, all of my stuff I make, so it's all stuff that I'm comfortable putting on my skin. Everybody's comfort level is different. I just happen to spend my life researching stuff, and I use what I'm comfortable with. So I guess I will be signing out for now.